All right, here we go indeed, Hondo. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. It's House Edge Live. It's John from Casino Gaming Central. A day late, a dollar short. Forgot to reschedule the video. So, my videos are, of course, pre-marked out there for when they're going to be on. And knowing I was going to drive home yesterday, I still didn't reschedule yesterday's video for today, which is why there was confusion yesterday. And, of course, today, I realized I never rescheduled it still. So I had to move everything around about 10 minutes ago. So I know we'll have probably a later arriving crowd today, but it is what it is. Hope you all having a good. What is today? Is today Wednesday? Wow, it's hump day. I lose a day. When I come back from Vegas to home, I lose an entire day because I drive. I drive back and forth primarily to save money. Because flying from Wenatchee to Vegas is about $900, depending the round trip. I can get a car and drive down for $150 total. Well, it's $200 including gas. So I can go back and forth for half the price, and that's why I do that. But it's a 15-hour day, so it takes for freaking ever. Anyway, let's get to it here today. I want to continue kind of the theme of the week has been this kind of bankroll management. Like, where am I? Right? We're talking about the bridge earlier, and it's all about getting to the goal and then having this kind of like the 3 states of your bankroll, right? You're either, at goal, at or above goal, which would be fantastic. You're even and working towards goal, but not quite there yet, or you're behind, right? That's your bankroll can only be in those 3 states besides just getting started, right? If you're getting started, you're in that first state. You're kind of at or close to goal. You're kind of marching your way towards it. And I want to spend today on that. I want to spend today talking about what does it look like for you when you're not quite at goal yet. Like, how do you march your way towards the goal? And how do you kind of plan to get there? So obviously, before we get into the chips and doing stuff, reminder, right? The casinos don't have to worry about that. Their goal is to take all your freaking money. Their goal is to take it all. That's their plan. They don't do this from an animus. Is that the right word? Position. They aren't out there to take your money, but they happily will. They're set up in such a way so that you can grab money. That they can grab as much as they can while you're there. I was actually talking to a casino boss over the weekend. I had a great conversation with this guy. And I actually asked him that. I asked him that exact question because I wanted to talk about it in this segment. I'm like, so what is it like? What's it like to manage a casino that is decidedly not part of the strip, right? So on the strip, people are coming, they're burning their dough and everything else. It's one group of people. When you're more way off strip and you're more local centric, right? Is it a different vibe and energy for you to know that people are walking in here with their paychecks to play, to maybe, eat, versus people coming in from, Wisconsin for the weekend to light money on fire? And he's like, no, he's like, he said, cognitively, I know that. And he said, I can't feel bad about that because my job is to make money here, right? My job as the GM is to make money. But he said, primarily my job, and this is him talking, is to take care of my people, like his staff. Like, I want to give my staff a great place to work. I worry about those 800 people more than I worry about who's coming in. So they're aware of it, right? The people who work there are aware. I don't hold it against them, right? It's the business model, right? We feed into the business model because we are dumbasses. We don't follow a bridge. We don't have bankroll management. We don't know what our risk really is. We don't really, for the most part, have all that much intelligence. Most people don't have discipline. Most of you don't set goals, right? Most of you let your emotions get the better of you. How many times have you rail dumped when you're pissed off? How many times have you made an emotional decision? The dice are off the table, turn my bets off. That next roll, if it's not a 7, could have been the one that got you to goal. Turn my bets back on, here comes a 7. When you make decisions based on non-fact, number 1, or emotions, number 2, you eliminate everything above, right? So today what I want to talk about is this marriage of bankroll and goals. Okay, so we'll do it all week, but really today I want to get to the notion of like, how do we hit goal? Warner from Wisconsin, of course, right? How do we hit goal? And what I want you to look at today, and again, I don't care what strategy you use. I'm going to use one of mine, obviously, to teach this lesson today, but I want you to know, what does your move, whatever the move is, earn you? Most strategies, especially in craps, but we can look at other ones too, are designed to get you to a point, right? They're designed to get you somewhere. How many of those moves does your rack have in it? And then, of course, am I laddering? The am I laddering piece is can my bankroll withstand getting there? So what I want to do is head to the table here and talk a little bit about getting to goal. And I'll look at a couple of strategies with you. And we'll probably make some decisions together about what can a strategy actually pull off when it works out. Let's head on down. Let's go here. I'm going to move my keyboard out of the way. Sorry about that. Let's actually make this as easy as I possibly can. We'll start out with, let's get these straight. We'll start out with, here's by the way, the casino's bank. We'll put it down here. We'll start out with a 50-50 bet. And again, this could be a non-craps thing. This could be a blackjack or a whatever. Ken from Ken Knows Gambling has been talking about the 1-3 option. Okay. I've been doing the 1-3-2-4 forever. If you have $1,000, here's my bankroll. Okay. And I want to do like a 1-3-2-4, but let's just say my goal is a couple 2-3 units, right? Maybe we make our buy-in 1,500, make a little more realistic. If I'm in for $1,500, let's lammer up my thing here. Let's say I'm trying to win. Let's see that enough. There we go. I'm trying to win $250 to $300, whatever. And I want to do a 1-3-2-4. Okay. Couple of ways that you can look at this. Okay. Number one, if I take $100 and I make it look like green chips, all right, and I start with this kind of as a potential couple of bullets. Okay. There's a bullet. There's a bullet. Each bullet in a 1-3-2-4 takes 2, right? So if I go out for 1 unit, whatever, red, black, baccarat, blackjack, pass line, don't pass. Whatever this bet is, it's a 1-to-1 bet. Okay. Let's say that it wins and I stack it for a 3-unit bet. And then the 3-unit wins. That's your 1-3. Well, the 1-3 puts your money back in the rack and gives you a 4-unit win. Okay. So the move wins you 4. Now, if you do it with green chips and your goal is 300, you got to make the move work 3 times. You got to win twice in a row, 3 times before you lose your money. I'm going to repeat that. If you're at green level and you're trying to win $250 to $300, you got to pull a 1-3 off 3 times. 100, 200, 300 to make this thing work, which means winning twice in a row, 3 times before you burn your bankroll and get too deep into it. Now, it could happen. You could win 100, do a 1-3, and lose it. Try it again. Do a 1, win it, stack it, win the 3. There's your original money back, but all you've done in that recovery phase is gotten halfway to your next one, right? So know what it does before you go out. You might have to do this. Let's put your money back. And again, think about what it takes to get to goal. What does your move do? If I go 1, win it, stack it, there's my 3. Okay, and I win my 3. And I come back to the rack. And I come down to a 2-unit bet. Because I'm not at goal yet. My goal was 300. I have 100. Now I go 1-3-2, win the 2. If I look at where I am, I'm still not at goal. I have to stay out there. Let it ride for the 4, and now I'm at goal. Right? 100, 200, and $50. So I can do a 1-3-2-4, 4 in a row to get to a goal. Alternatively, if I don't want to have to deal with this thing 3, 4, 5 times, what I can do is say I've got $1,500. I got roughly 7 or 8 cracks at it. I can take this and do the same thing. If I go out for a black chip and win 1 and I stack it and I win that stacked bet, win 2 in a row 1 time, there's my 2 units that I've started with. My bankroll is back to being even again. There's my 1,500 and I'm at 400. And in 1 move, I made it work. Matter of fact, I made it work with a little bit of juice. Okay. So know what your move can do. A 1-3 wins you 4 units. We know that. The 1-3 wins you 4. If I burned 2 units on the way and my 3rd one happens to pull this move off, this one here, we win. Let's say let's say that never happened, right? We win 1, we stacked it up, right? Sorry, hold on. We were here, right? We lost it twice. 3rd one, win 1, stack it, win the 4, win the 3, rebuild the rack. There's the rack rebuilt. I'm at 2 units. I have to do it again, but I have money to do it with. So as you go down, you say, well, the base move can do a 2 unit or a net 4 unit win, but because I was down 3, I end up being, or down 2, I end up being only up 2. So what do you do here? You put it back in the rack and say, well, now to get to that extra $100 or the extra $50, you take one of those, drop it down, and do your 1, 3, 2, 4 with your greens regressed from profit. Okay, that's a simple way to look at, like, all right, what can it make? What should my bet size be? How much of my bankroll do I need, or how much my bankroll can support that bet size? So that's the marriage there, right? If you're going to be trying to get out of there quick, the hit and run, you hit and run from bigger bets. You don't hit and run with small bets. You hit and run with bigger bets. Can your bankroll do that? If your bankroll is 500, you can't do that with black chips. You got to go green chips. You got to do it 3 or 4 times. The bankroll decides the bet size. We talked about this the other day. Bankroll decides the bet size. $500, you cannot be betting black chips 1, 3, 2, 4. You just can't do it. You got to go to greens here, and you're going to have to win $100 3 times. You're going to have to do that fight to get through it. Bankroll decides the bet size. The bet size decides how many times you got to get this thing done to make it work. Okay, let's keep the 500 in the rack and let's go to craps. Let's do something fun in craps. We'll do my my duck and cover, and I want to show you something with duck and cover. Let's say my goal is about 250. Let's say I'm going to try and be a crazy person and win 50%. Okay, I know that if I go out here 110, there's $200. I'll take the 90 and change. Okay, there's my $90 change. We'll go 110 inside. Okay, 110 plus 90 is $200. I have three blacks left, and that. Okay, we know this move. You've seen it a million times, right? $35 goes down. Every time I exchange a green for reds, what happens? $50 comes back. And again, you got to know your move. This is the knowledge part of the bridge. You got to know what your move does. Okay, one of these green to red transitions is always going to bring back $50. So I do another one. Right? Transition green to red, another $50. There's my money back. Okay. In reality, I've made $70. There's 50 in greens, and there's my $70. In reality, I've made $70. I'm not at goal. My goal is 250. But I know every time I transition a green to red or green to red, I know that move is a $50 move. So duck and cover played this way can continue for you. Now, if you're building towards goal, you have a choice to make. Leave these at this level, which reduces the number of hits that you need potentially, or regress them down to lock in. If we leave them up here, let's just run this through, and we catch a 6, and we bring it down. I'll bring it down to $12. That move, that transition move, brings back $50. Now, we go back to the rack. There's 300. There's 400. There's my $500 back in the rack. I'm good, but I'm not at goal. Right? My goal was 250. I got to pull off a $50 move. How many times now? How many times I got to make $50? I got one $50 back in the rack, essentially. I got to do this another 4 times. Know that going in. The 5 rolls, and it pays $14. You drop $1 and press it back to a quarter. You give yourself another chance for a round trip. If you get a repeater 5 and you make the transition move, $50 comes back. And every time we can pull one of these off, we know that it's $50. This way, you're building towards goal from profit with a move that you know how much it makes. If I know that that transition always results in $50 coming back, we know how long it's going to take. If this were double sized, do the same thing at a different level. Get rid of these whites here. Reset the rack here. If I come out here 220, I need $20 out of that. So that'll be 80 coming back. Okay. 220. you know is going to make 140, but watch what happens here. Okay, it's a little different at 220. This thing makes 70 bucks, 50, 70 bucks, and it goes down to a quarter. I can't quite make the right move. Should we make it 20? You could put all the reds out there, but then you have a bunch of reds and whites coming back. We'll make it a quarter for ease. Okay, that transition brings you back $95, basically 100. Okay, not quite, but basically. So there's one. We catch another one, 75 for 5 out of my rack, and bring it down. So that move at 220 essentially brings you in $100. It's not quite 100. It's 95, not quite 100, but you can call it in your brain $100. So if 110 inside and the green chip exchange is 50, 220 inside, the exchange from 50 to 25 is about 100, and your goal is 250. You got to do this move, right, a couple of times. Let's play it out. There's our first full transition, right? Back to the rack we go. Let's get our rack reset as best as we can. We're not going to quite get there, but there's 2. There's 300. There's 450. There's 470. So I know that I'm a little bit light of being bankroll full. Let's take a hit. Let's say the 5 hits for 35 bucks. Okay. We got to get it back to the green level. We'll bring that back. I'm going to make these look like, actually, I'll leave them as reds. Okay. Now I've got the 75 bucks. Next hit, whatever it's going to be, is going to pay 75 for 5. Let's say it's the 5, comes on down again. And that brings back the $100, and we're good. There's 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. There's my bankroll. There's some profit. And now we work this table. We work the table. We know that we need to get to 250 at $100 a clip. We have 50 bucks. I need this to happen 2 more times. Now what I've got out here is 150 bucks. I really need just one more, right? Add to the math. I have 150, 200. I need one more hit of something out here to get to my goal. Remember, your bankroll got you to a position. Your move makes this work. We did 2 moves to get here. Sorry, 3 moves to get to this point. 1 more move and we're out. Okay. Whatever happens, happens. $35 on the 9, let's just say. Okay. Pull her all down, and we're going to be at goal. There's 100. There's 200. 25. There's your 250, and some juice. Okay. Knowing what the move makes lets you calculate how many times you got to pull that move off. Okay. If you want it to be a little bit more, get me out of here quick because I'm scared to death kind of thing. Again, we have 1, 2, 300, 500 bucks. If you want to be me, come on out here at 330 and go, what are you doing, John? You're betting half your freaking bankroll. There's 3. I need to get 30 bucks out of this, so it's going to be $70 and change. And there's 15. There we go. There's 330. Okay, out of my 500. Now I got what? I got one and change left. This, by the way, is tomorrow's example. We'll use this example for tomorrow. The same exact play. Out of 500, go 330, and you're gonna say you're absolutely batshit, right? But I want to be here all day. My bankroll can decide the bet size and say, look, I'm willing to risk 500 to win 250. If I catch a PSO, so be it. But if I don't, and I get 105 bucks for any one of these wins, and it comes down to a quarter, now we know that this move is a $150 move at this size. Man, interesting how it jumps up 50 bucks every time. So there's 150 coming back, right? And change. Let's say another one hits. 105 comes down. Am I going to be at my goal? No. I have 1, 2, 300 bucks. 310 out of my 330. Not quite home yet. And out here, I've got 75, 150, 200, and change out here. I'm not there yet. I need another something to happen. But by going to blacks, I completely changed the game in terms of 2 hits. I've reduced all the risk, and I'm living life, right? If I get a shitty hit out here on the 5 for $35, where are we? Well, let's take a look. That's 100. That's 100. And there's 2 from my rack, right? So I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 500. Bankroll, reset. 100, 50, 220. So with 2.5 moves, right? One move plus a little tiny bit, we're at 220. 220. Not quite 250, but I don't have to have the whole set of risk out there. I know that I'm one $35 hit away, or I'm good enough for government work and I'm going home. Okay. Again, knowing what the move pays helps me to make decisions. Tomorrow, when we look at what happens if I go out 330 and I lose the first time, and I got this little bit in the rack, we'll talk about that tomorrow in recovery. Okay. But at 330, it works great. It's black, and you're out. You know that you're going to be 210. When all is said and done, you're going to be up about 210, 220. That's how it works out for us, right? Again, the bankroll typically decides the bet size. Now, in this case, one could argue the bankroll didn't support the bet size. I went too high for the bankroll. Unless you're saying I'm going to optimize not for the bankroll, I'm going to optimize for time. Get me out of here super fast. I'll risk more than half my bankroll on one shooter to be out quick. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it works, it's $200. If it doesn't work, it costs me $5. So you win 200, 200, 200, 200. That's, $800 during the week. Friday, you get your ass kicked for 500. You're still up 3. But I know what that move makes for me. I know what I can expect from it, so I can calculate how many times I want to play it relative to the bankroll. If I'm going to go 220, I know I got to get one, it's 100, it's 100, it's 100. I got to make 3 double green hits in this way of playing. If you're going to play just straight up across, if you're going to go out here with something like laying the 10 for 300, right, and going 135 across, right, you're here, you got, what's that? And you're here, right? Is that right? 135, 140, 50. Yeah, that's right. If you're going to be here and say, look, I'll use my entire bankroll to win $35 as many times as I can. I'll fight the 10 instead of the 7, and I'll take 35 once and not even press twice, 3 times. 3 hits of $35 is $100. That move right there, same betting 3 times, earns me 100, and I can come down, right, and let the 10 write itself out. Wait for the 7. Hope we get a 7. If the entire move works, is 150 minus. We'll take the vig out of here. Where do we land? The whole move. 1, 2, 3 hits. Let the 10 work out. This is Ken's way of playing. There's 400, 500. That's your bankroll. What's it earn? 100, 250 bucks on the nose. If you know 1, 2, 3 green hits plus your lay is your goal, bring 500 bucks. Maybe that works today and I win 250. Maybe it doesn't work today and I win less than 250, or I lose the 500. And you try that 4 days a week, right? That's what I'm saying, right? You got to know. You got to know what it's worth. What's the move worth? Dan is saying, oh my God, half your bankroll on one shooter, 100%, crazy town. But I'm out in 2 rolls. Put the thing up, 2 rolls and I'm going home, or not. That's it. Either trust myself as a shooter or I don't, and I'm doing that thing. That's what I'm talking about. And again, if you're in your move, could easily be black chip DCs. $500, you're going to take 1 shot, right? Let a point come out, run the DC to the 5, run another DC to the 9, let him sit there, win 200, run it again. Maybe with greens next time. Know what the move earns. Know how many moves your bankroll has. Let me go back to the other screen there. Let me go back to, hold on, I need my mouse to do this. I gotta switch back. Hold on. I gotta get a button that gets me right to there. You gotta know what your move earns. And I don't care what your move is. If it's duck and cover, if it's what I just showed you, that sort of the lay bet with the across, whatever your move is. Okay. know what it produces. Know how many of those you can do. If I'm doing 330 inside with a $500 bankroll, I can do it one time. If I'm going to go 330 and give that move 5 chances to do the same thing, how much money do I need? I need $1,500, right? But know how many moves your bankroll has. Know what the move earns. Are you going to allow it or not? We can go back. I'll go back one more time. Show you something else. We did the other day. We did the whole 110 inside the $1,500 thing, right? Remember when I built from 110 and you do the move 5 times and earns $1,500? You could look at that and say, well, if I brought $1,000 to the casino, right? Let's do some math here. If I brought $1,100 to the casino, there's $1,100. Oh my God. Come on, Johnny. Good gravy. I think this side's better for the Lammers. I think the way the light hits them, I think over here is a better look. There's $1,100. Okay. We know that if I can go duck and cover at 110, duck and cover at 220, duck and cover at 330, duck and cover at 440, duck and cover at 550. If I can get this thing to work 5 times. I was doing it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If I did it shooter 1, shooter 2, shooter 3, shooter 4, shooter 5, or myself shooting roll 1 and 2, roll 2 and 3, right? Either way, we know that this 110 can become 1,500, which is more than what I brought. I can have all of these 11 cracks or 10 cracks, even if the 10th one is the one that I make that happen on, where I get 9 or 10 inside hits. If it's the last one, I know that the move itself will earn $1,500. If I take $1,100 and the last one earns the $1,500, I still win my goal. I still win my goal. This is like going on blast, but knowing the outcome ahead of time, right? It's going 110, but not shooting for the ceiling. It's going 110 with a targeted march. I know in advance how much this is capable of winning if I play it exactly the way that I want to. This move from 110 will earn $1,500 if I get 10 inside hits. We know that's a fact. That's a fact if it works out that way. I have 10 chances to get exactly that to happen. And if it happens on any one of these 10, if I can just get 10 inside numbers or 10, whatever you want to call it, 10 shooters, we know I'll earn this back plus 400 because this thing makes $1,500. We know that already, right? Your bankroll makes all the determinations. You have to know what you got, how this is going to work for you, how many times you can try something, and what is the thing you're going to try make. I'm not going 110 inside and doing a Hail Mary and praying to God that we get a 50 roller and I can press it to the ceiling. I'm going 110 inside for a forced five session march to get out of here because I know what it's going to be. I'm going 1-3-2-4 because I know this, by the way, you should know this. What is in chat before I even run it? What does a 1-3-2-4 earn? Somebody tell me in chat. How many units does a 1-3-2-4 make? Quickly. I'm going to set it up. There's my tune. What does a 1-3-2-4 earn for you? You ready? Here it comes. There's the 1 that pays 1 and I stack it. Now I got 3 units out there. I win 3 units. Come down to 2. My rack has my original 2 plus some profit plus I'm playing. The 2 goes out and gets stacked up and it wins 4. I'm going to make those both blacks. When the 4 wins, right there. I'm sorry, I did that prepayment ahead of time. 4 wins. Let me do it again because I colored up and I probably shouldn't have made it confusing. Let's do it one more time. 1, win 1, stack. There's the 3. Bring back 2, regress to 2. 2 pays 2 and it stacks. 4 pays 4, and your net is as Nas. I always know how to say your name correctly, but Nozok, it wins 10. The 1-3-2-4 wins 10. So if I bring 1, 2, 3, 4 cracks at it, okay, 4 cracks at the 1-3-2-4. So four tries to win 4 in a row. If I burn to the last one, We know we're actually, I could do 5. We could lose all 4. We could lose the first 4 cracks at it. If the 5th one ends up winning 10 units, right? There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We know we'll still be up. There's our original back, 2 units. If you know it wins 10, how many bullets you got to win 10? If you bring 12 bullets to win 10, even if it works, you're going to lose. So know this. Bankroll decisions drive everything. Bankroll decides bet size. Bankroll or bet and risk. Bankrolls together decide bet size. But what your play is determines how you get to goal, how fast you get there, and how you organize and set up your rack to support getting you to your goal. Hope that all made sense. Let me go back to the other screen again. One more time. I hope that makes sense. It seems like a simple thing to conceptualize, but as John Patrick would say, would you actually do it at the casino? Most of you won't do it. Most of you won't play that way. Go 110 inside and look for those 10 insides. Most of you won't bring $500 and go 330 like I showed you. I would do that. If I was there to make that goal every single day on the way to work, it's exactly what I would do. Because I want to get an out. 2 hits plus a green level hit and I'm done. Be out. I'll risk 5 4 times to win 8. I know that it's going to make me X. I'll take the risk. That's a risk bankroll decision. But again, your bankroll has to decide A, the levels, B, the number of bullets. Okay. And am I laddering? Never. I never ladder because I don't have the money to ladder. My bankroll doesn't allow me to build and use ladder strategies, so I don't. I know that going in. All right. Let me go check and see if there's any questions or comments that I haven't really addressed yet. So I'm going to go back up. Oh, look, Chris is here. Good morning, Chris. I didn't see a comment. I would have said hi when you got in. Let's see. Question about the app on the phone. The top is blocked off. You can't see the puck or the dice tracker on the bottom. Are you using the website on your phone or are you using the app, the actual phone app itself? We can talk over email if you want to, but the app is designed to fit, right? There's a little tab at the top you click to get to the menu. On the browser on your phone, it'll all be cut off. Don't use your phone browser to go to the website. Use the actual phone app. Make sure you're using that. If you're using the browser at work, the browser layout is different. That's why I say that. Let's see. There you go. The look of the app is pretty. The app is pretty. I'll do a little app demo maybe next week. We'll go through it. Let's see. If my move hits and I take everything down, it makes $56. That's almost like the skill 66, right? The skill 66 makes you $49, basically 50. You pull that move off, you know it makes $50. Easy peasy. Skill 66 pulled down makes $50. If you do the skill 66 move with 330 inside, go from 330, go to 440 and come back down, what does it make? 105 plus 140, right? It makes $250. If your goal is 250, go 330, press it to 440, take the hit and get the hell out. You can do that too, right? Know what it makes. It's such an important thing to know what it makes. All right, let's see. Matt loves the 330. Of course, the 330 is great. You want 3 session bankroll per visit with a balance of 3 visits at home. Envelope system. Envelope right there. Right. So I would do it doing what I just showed you, the 330 thing. You're bringing $1,500 to the floor, right? 500, 500, and 500. You've got another 1,500 and 1,500 and 1,500 up in the safe. So you've got for a 3-day weekend, you've got 1,500, 1,500, 4,500 bucks. You're bringing 5, 5, and 5. You're going to pull that move off. If it works out, each time you win, it gives you a brand new envelope. Magic. Absolute magic. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Oh, wait, I got some questions here. My favorite Seattle football player right now, Ernest Jones. Without question. It's Ernest Jones. No argument. When Ernest Jones last year stood up for Sam Darnold, he became my favorite guy. And I love his story, too. He's got a great story. Actually, you know, it's a good story. If you're watching, you guys all watching Hard Knocks? Raise your hand if you're watching Hard Knocks. Derek Hall's story is awesome. My wife watched episode 2 of Hard Knocks while I was in Vegas, and she texted me. She goes, "How in the hell is that guy a preemie? Like, he was a 1 pound baby. His diaper," he said, "was like the size of it fit in the palm of his hand, like a little." Right? He's a badass now. No, it's easily Ernest Jones. That guy's freaking awesome. All right. And send me to support at cqnexus.com and send it to me there, and I'll walk you through it. All right, guys. Let's leave. Lou's here. Lou, you want to give us the acronym? We're going to leave with your famous saying here. Everybody stay in focus. Stay in focus. Follow your plan. Observe conditions. Control the emotions, please. Of all the things, emotional awareness and intelligence is such a big deal. It will put you on tilt and make you make poor decisions. Stay disciplined. All right. And I always say this at the end too, keep it simple, right? The genius admires simplicity. The idiots admire complexity. Be a genius out there, everybody. Have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to work the same systems, but from a position of loss. We're going to pretend that we've lost half our bankroll or more, and how we earn our way back using the same concepts. All right. Have a good one. Love y'all. God bless. Bye. See you then.